How Christians say and think God did it just doesn't add up. From the intricacies of quantum physics to the wonders of the human brain, we'll examine the surprising ways in which faith and science intersect. Get ready to challenge your assumptions and expand your understanding of the world around you. All right, let's talk about the grand old tradition of the God did it button. You know the one. It's the ultimate intellectual parachute for anyone who's ever faced a question more complex than what's for dinner. And bless their hearts, our Christian friends seem to have their finger glued to it. What came before the Big Bang? The implication, of course, being that if science can't yet provide a definitive, universally agreed upon answer for the absolute genesis, then obviously, logically, without a shadow of a doubt, their particular bearded sky wizard must have snapped his fingers, because I don't know is apparently a sign of weakness, whereas my specific culturally assigned deity did it. And conveniently, you can't prove that wrong either, is the pinnacle of profound insight. Now, hold on a minute. Yes, something did come before the Big Bang. That's a fascinating, mind boggling frontier of theoretical physics. But simply because we don't know what it was does not magically transform that void of knowledge into a divine blueprint for your favorite Sunday school teacher's God. It's the ultimate God of the gaps maneuver, isn't it? Just shove the big guy into whatever scientific lacuna actually exists. Dust off your hands and declare victory, as if the universe waited patiently for their specific deity to finally get around to existing before anything else could. If God built this cosmic mansion for us, then about 99.99999% of it is off limits. That's like designing a palace and only unlocking the janitor's closet. God's flawless creation, they say. A shining example of divine craftsmanship, assuming, of course, your idea of fine tuning involves exploding stars, flaming gas giants, and planets so hostile they make Chernobyl look like a spa day. Then there's the we're so intelligent, we must have been created argument. This one's a real chuckle because apparently the concept of evolution, a beautifully intricate, messy, and undeniable process, is just too pedestrian for our magnificent selves. Oh no, we didn't evolve from primordial goo and billions of years of trial and error. We were poofed into existence, fully formed with opposable thumbs and an inexplicable urge to argue about ancient texts. And naturally, when they say God created us, they're not talking about, say, Ra or Vishnu or one of the thousands of other deities cooked up by humanity throughout history. Nope, it's always their guy, the one whose existence rests solely on the premise that a book says he exists. And that book is true because it says so. And around we go on the merry-go-round of circular reasoning. You want me to believe the Bible? Prove it's true. You want me to believe the God of the Bible? Prove that he's real. And you can't. And if God designed our immune systems, I'm convinced he used Windows 95. Diseases aren't bugs, they're features of life in a chaotic world. Cancer? Often caused by sunlight. You know, the thing that keeps us alive. Our backs? Evolution didn't think we'd live this long upright. Wisdom teeth? Because nothing says divine planning like unnecessary bones that get yanked out. This isn't designed so much as an evolved kludge. Like A duct taped bicycle with laser beams bolted on. It works, barely, but holy hell, it's not elegant. Honestly, it reminds me of how all this God stuff started. Our ancient ancestors, bless their simple hearts, looked at a thunderstorm or a bumper crop and thought, "Gee, that's weird. Must be a spirit or a giant angry cloud person." They created gods to explain the inexplicable, to feel a smidgen of control over a terrifying, unpredictable world. Then they invented rituals to appease these imagined beings because feeling helpless is just the worst, isn't it? And this tribalism, this need for an in group and an out group, that's where the real fun begins. You had your tribe with your specific crop god and storm god, and if anyone from the out group dared to have different explanations or different gods, well, that was just a recipe for a good old fashioned brawl. The winners got to force their gods and rituals on the losers because conformity was, and still often is, the ultimate survival strategy within these groups. You either conformed or you risked being unpersoned, exiled, or worse. Science, by the way, offers far more compelling explanations than intelligent design. Things like the Big Bang and natural selection show how complexity can emerge without intention, without a divine spreadsheet from heaven. Life isn't a divine Etsy craft. It's a brutal, beautiful struggle to survive in a chaotic cosmos. It's not designed to be perfect. It's barely hanging on in a cosmic meat grinder. But that's what makes it real, relatable, and way more badass than any talking snake myth. Look, science doesn't claim to have all the answers. In fact, its greatest strength is openly admitting when it doesn't. It certainly doesn't say because God felt like it and roll the credits. We're still diligently exploring the origin of the universe, piercing together clues like cosmic detectives. And that, my friends, isn't weakness. That's called intellectual honesty. It's admitting you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle yet, but you're darn well going to keep looking under every cosmic couch cushion. The Genesis account even gives us a tidy 7-day week, complete with evenings, mornings, and what I can only assume were mandatory union breaks for the angels. Physics, meanwhile, is scratching its head. What even is a day if time didn't exist yet? But hey, let's totally pretend the sun was created after light existed. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Genesis famously proclaims, God said, "Let there be light." And bam! Light just shows up like it's been waiting backstage for its cue. Science, on the other hand, says, let's rigorously study photons, meticulously measure background radiation, maybe fire up a particular accelerator, etc., etc., etc. Christianity, with its trademark efficiency, just shrugs. So when I hear God did it as the ultimate answer to everything from cosmic origins to our evolved intelligence, I just sigh. It's not about seeking truth. It's about shoring up an old, ingrained tribal belief system using a convenient, unprovable answer to avoid the discomfort of not knowing. And frankly, I find the honest, I don't know, but let's find out, far more intellectually exciting than any snap of the fingers miracle. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." while modern cosmology, with a twinkle in its eye and a practice accelerator humming, simply says, "Here, hold my beer." And this is Kim McPhail of Kim McPhail Podcast with a special, rather small and short live event. No one's watching right now, of course, because I have very little subscribers. So doing a live event can be very embarrassing when you have no one watching. But hopefully, when you see the replay, you will like, subscribe, and share with all you know. And please check out some of my other videos, whether live or pre-recorded. I'm sure you'll find it interesting, those who are for and against whatever I speak about. And thanks for watching. Those who will watch the replay, nobody's watching right now. And I guess I'll talk to you the next time. Bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.